Hello there, it's 3 o'clock on a Tuesday, and we know what that means. Another riveting episode of Behind Breaking Bond. We weren't here last week because of the 4th, and we're back, and what do you have?
I'm telling you, hey, anytime with Crime Stock, this is pretty cool. Goya sent us like 8,985 packages.
Wow.
What is it?
Cookie, do you like these
I
cookies?
love those.
Yeah.
They're
Would you like a
galletas.
pack?
I would love a pack.
If you do a really good job today.
Okay, I'll try my best.
We'll
I'll
let
try
you
my
guys
best.
decide, but these are really good cookies.
And you know that Goya, they're a really great company. They were. I did a story. They were sending all this stuff to the people of Ukraine, and they do a lot of really good stuff.
Not that, but if I had three, I could juggle.
Oh, well.
Could you?
I can catch.
You have three other things.
This is pretty amazing stuff. So thank you for sending all these provisions to Crime Stoppers.
Also joining us is Emily Toto.
Emily Toto by the skin of my teeth.
Yes.
It's weird. I live downtown and now I barely made it here on time.
We haven't seen you in a while. What you been up to?
Well, I moved downtown.
You like that?
Yes, I love it. I'm 2 blocks from my office. I'm 2 blocks from the courthouse. Downtown has a lot going on. There's people
Do
that
you
ride their
drive
bikes.
from your house to the courthouse and to the 2 blocks?
I did it once. I'm not proud of it. But it's 111 degrees, and as you know, I'm already sweating just getting here. But anyway,
It'll be nice though when
it'll be
it's
nice.
not so
When it's the weather's
hot.
nice.
Yeah.
No, but there's a nice little restaurant underneath my apartment building. It's called Bravery Hall. They have 6 different restaurants. The pool is very nice. My son loves to just hang out. He's already had friends over. Yeah, and I can see the fireworks from my balcony.
Wow, I bet that was fun.
Yeah, it's very fun. So that's what I've been doing.
So if we're at the courthouse, we can go and.
Exactly. We can all just go and wait for verdicts.
Wait for verdicts in your apartment.
Yes.
We'll do that.
We'll do it.
Hey, one of the things that we were going to talk about, and this is right up Emily's alley. Andy was talking to me this morning, and we were talking about from a defense standpoint.
Yeah.
What do you do when you've got a client, they're out on bond,
Yeah.
and then the next thing you know, they pick up a new criminal charge?
Well, so it depends on how your contract is written. If you're appointed, there's really not much you can do, but if you are retained, part of my contract says that they have to obey their conditions of bond. And also they have to be in contact with me if they move.
Is
they have
being
to
charged with a new crime on bond, is that a violation?
That's a violation.
Not
The
making sure.
allegation is the violation.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean that they're guilty.
right.
But it just means that they need to, and they need to inform me also. So, but if, let's say, for example, they're accused of a new law violation while breaking a bond condition, that could put them in breach of their contract. They can't just abscond. They have to keep me in touch of their new address. If they change their phone number, I have to have people that I can call if I need to get a hold of them, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, it sounds like you really want to know where they
Yeah,
are
exactly.
before
Right.
trial.
Right, well, the majority of my clients who are charged with very serious felonies, murders, aggravated sexual assaults of children, against children. So I need to know where they are at all times.
Yeah.
I had a client recently get pulled up on a bond violation, but it was for medication. It wasn't for a new law violation or anything. It was just for, I think they believed he had some type of drug in his system, but he actually had a prescription.
Yeah. I mean, what do? Do you like set them down and say, hey, you're going to have to
Well,
do
I
everything
mean,
you're supposed to do?
I don't set them down because the court brings them in.
Right, that's true, yeah.
Right, I mean, and then I'll just say, look, what am I dealing with here? And then because we're entitled to notice, so if we're not given notice as to what they're saying he did or didn't do, then it's not fair. But if they tell us, look, you allegedly broke your curfew on this date, or your monitor wasn't charged at this time, then we at least have a right to defend ourselves against that.
Right.
I just want to get to the bottom of the story.
What if a defendant comes to you and says, hey, my electronic monitoring device,
Right.
it's broken or it's not
All right,
acting
well,
up?
then it's my job to let them know. But a lot of times these monitors aren't charging accurately. And it's not like it's an iPhone or an Android that we can just walk into T-Mobile and buy one. They're specifically made for that specific device. So the people are basically left to the mercy of the manufacturer. And so if it is actually broken and it can't be fixed,
How do you keep a device like that charged? you know?
I have no idea. I think
That was
it's,
a trick question.
oh, okay, well then you know. Oh, I see, you're setting me up, I get it.
He wears them a lot, so
Right.
he knows.
He knows. So, but I did have a client who, he swore that, and I said, well, how hard is it to charge it, dude?
Well, you're
He was
right,
like,
yeah.
It's not, it's proprietary. It's not like we could just go into a T-Mobile and buy a charger. It's specific to that thing.
Yeah.
Which I get. I have an e-bike. And not all e-bike chargers can charge the same e-bike, which
Sure.
is stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I had to spend money to get a new charger for my e-bike. But it's the same concept. But I guess there's
So you can't go into
There's a-
stores and ask for,
no.
that's a business.
But there's a
There you go.
there's a
That's
barcode
good.
on your ankle monitor that you have to take, kind of like a QR code that you take a picture of.
Yeah.
And I think that will stimulate some type of message to the owner of it. That map will be enough to let them know that you still have it on.
The thing too
You're done.
Got it.
Yeah,
the thing too that just drives me nuts when you talk about monitoring devices.
yeah,
There's just so many people in pretrial services. I mean, it's like, I still say that it does kind of give this false sense of security when you say, okay, well, they're out, but they have an electronic monitoring
well,
device.
in my, as a defense attorney, it's overused. Not every single person needs a GPS monitor. Not every single person needs to be on house arrest.
Yeah,
It just never used to be this way. And I've successfully had GPS monitors removed from clients who have fulfilled a certain period of time, let's say 6 months to 8 months with no violations.
right.
And, you know, I had one client on a GPS and house arrest. And what ended up happening was he was losing his income. And, you know, I argued with the judge, you know, he hasn't been convicted of a crime.
Right.
And so a man deserves a right to support his family, to work, and you're stripping him of those rights.
Well, and that's what bond is supposed to be for, is to allow somebody to continue to go to work, do what they have to do until they go to trial.
Right, and to assure that they show up for trial.
Yeah,
It's not just to strip them of all their rights and dignity and make them just stay at home and do nothing.
yeah.
That's a prison already.
Do the clients fear the court or you more?
Oh, stop.
I would say Emily.
So,
I am a client's best friend.
But you don't take any nonsense, though, I can tell.
Oh,
You're
no,
not
I
gonna,
don't.
they're not gonna pull anything over
Yeah,
on you.
I've been known to withdraw on cases when I get treated a certain way, or if people are interfering in my investigation.
Yeah,
For example, if they're TikToking pieces of crucial evidence,
yeah,
vetting it in the TikTok sphere, that's
that's a
hurting.
whole new ballgame
That's
for
hurting.
defense attorney. And
That's
particularly
true.
The
That's
whole
hurting.
social media
Yeah.
aspect of, because everybody's putting everything out.
Yeah.
Do you check any of that stuff? Or,
My
You
investigator
have
checks
no-
it. My
yeah.
investigator checks it, and that's the thing that bites me in the butt most. That has bitten me in the butt mostly. So I was in a capital murder trial, and my client's interests and hobbies were guns.
yeah,
And you know what? That may be true, and I, as an attorney, cannot tell him, "Hey, you got to change that," because that's tampering.
sure, right, yeah.
But you know, you just have to take it to chips as they fall, or whatever.
But then look at all the people that have an interest in guns. I mean, that's,
Right,
you know,
we're
that's,
in Texas. You know,
right,
and that's not-
exactly.
But it's the lens that you're looking through. If you're a hammer, everything's a nail. So if you're accused of capital murder and you're into guns, then that's bad. If you're a hunter and you're interested in guns, that's fine. So it's just
Yeah.
a no-win situation.
If you had a client that they're out on bond and they pick up a new criminal charge, do you go to court with them to try to get?
Well, no, I mean, I'm hired per case. So
Right.
it's not ad infinitum. I'm
But
not
then
going-
what happens then? Okay, I'm already your client.
Right.
I'm out on bond, I pick up another criminal charge. Are
Right.
you gonna represent me on that charge
If
too?
they choose to hire me, yes. I've had a case recently, my client was on bond for sexual assault of a child. The case had lingered forever. We picked a jury, we got a mistrial. Then he remained on his bond. He then got arrested in another county. That doesn't make me his lawyer, he got
Right.
someone else. that caused his bond here to be revoked. Once that case was settled, he was extradited here, and he picked up a robbery in jail where he got an appointed attorney.
How do you get a robbery?
Commissary.
Really?
Seriously?
There's so many, oh, yes.
How
He
do
was
you?
accused of stealing someone's commissary.
I don't know.
I've
That's
never heard that one.
I have that. Yes, I can.
So what happened in that, without getting into specifics?
No, my client's case was dismissed, the sexual assault case was
No,
dismissed.
Yeah.
about the I want to know about
Oh, it's, people allegedly ganging up on someone for their ramen noodles.
Yeah,
And robbery is this: if I hit you and cause you pain and take your pen,
yeah.
the value amount doesn't matter.
Right.
It's the two elements: pain and
You
theft.
took something, yeah.
Theft without your
So
consent.
you don't, it's not, just because someone's your client, it's based on
A
the
case-by-case
case.
basis,
Right,
yes.
yeah,
Doesn't make me their lawyer forever. And I wish a lot of clients understood that. For all of defense attorneys out there,
yeah.
I'm sure they feel my pain. I'll have people call years later and they're like, "You said this and this." I'm like, "Who are you?"
Yeah, I don't really remember those,
I
yeah.
mean, at the time, I'm sure, but.
Yeah.
It's
You
been a while.
probably do, I take it you do have people that come back to you.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I have a lot of repeat clients and,
You call them repeat offenders?
no, I have referrals, they're referrals, and I've had one family I've represented almost every single member of their family
Really?
successfully, and then they in turn have referred me
Sure,
people,
Yeah.
and it's so I have quite a presence in, Belleville, LaGrange,
yeah,
Colorado County, Washington County, those areas.
yeah,
And I like practicing out there, to be honest with you. There's, the drive is easy, the parking is free, there's nice shopping, and, there's a good meat market on the way. I can get some good sandwiches and some steaks and whatnot.
cool,
How secure are you?
Well, they just wave you through.
yeah.
It's an old timey,
Okay,
courthouse.
remember that.
Right.
They have a spittoon. One of them has a spittoon if you witness it, and a gallery to watch the trials.
Oh, wow. That's kind of like walking back in time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I mean, it's gonna be a lot different when you go to smaller
Oh,
places than when you're
Yeah,
here.
but some places, they'll take a DWI as serious as they will a capital murder.
Yeah,
And their policies is no budget. And so, and I'll often joke, I'm like, I've had capital murder cases I've had easier time dealing with than this DWI, but you just never know. And then you can get another DA that's assigned to the case the next month and they're totally different.
yeah.
So,
That happens a lot
oh
here.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of turnover.
So then is it like you start over again when they pass the
Unfortunately,
case to a
sometimes you
different
do.
prosecutor?
Unfortunately, sometimes you do because it's all about taking notes. And so if it's not written down, it didn't happen.
Yeah,
Because it's your word versus their word. So I can say, and I can be 100% honest, I know, because my memories, I know it. And I can say, you offered X, Y, and Z. And then they'll be like, well, if it's not written down, and then it becomes a fine line between them calling me a liar, or maybe I'm mistaken, or they did sloppy work.
yeah.
And then it just becomes super awkward.
One thing with you've done it all. You were a prosecutor
Right.
at one point.
Yes. I
Between,
really loved my time as a prosecutor. I'm not
Did
gonna
you?
lie. I
Yeah.
really did. I was young. I was 26. My first real job. And
Yeah.
it was under Johnny Holmes, the world famous prosecutor. And
he was something else,
I just
wasn't he?
loved,
Right out of Central Cast.
I loved
Yes.
having a badge. I
With
loved,
the
handlebar.
handlebar
I
mustache.
loved, everything was fresh and new,
Yeah. He could be kind of intimidating if you
Oh,
wanted
big
to.
time, yeah, especially, so I actually ended up resigning 2 years into the job as opposed, you're supposed to serve at least 3, but I was getting married to someone who was going to be in the military. And he was being stationed to Hawaii, so I resigned.
Yeah.
And I had to walk in and I didn't expect to see him there. I just wanted to turn my badge in and there he is. I'm like, are you got to be kidding me? We had a pleasant conversation.
Yeah.
He had a garden and he was putting alfalfa sprouts into like little plastic baggies and he was telling me all about his gardening and
Yeah.
he was gracious. I thought, that was the scariest thing ever, but he was actually very gracious to me, because I think he could tell how terrified I was to be walking in there.
So what made you decide to become a defense attorney?
Well, after you don't serve your 3 years, you pretty much can't go back to the office. So I put my resume out and ended up getting hired at a really great criminal defense firm, Schneider and McKinney, Stanley Schneider, Troy McKinney. And
Big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they hired me. I immediately got to try capital murders, got to do appeals because I have an appellate background. I basically stepped over all the things I wouldn't be able to do as a DA unless I did 6, 7, 8 years, And I totally loved it. It's what I gravitated towards in law school. I gravitated towards it even as a prosecutor, to be honest.
Yeah.
And so this was a perfect fit.
Well, and everybody deserves to be represented.
Right.
There's no doubt
Right.
about it.
Right.
I mean, no matter what they're accused of doing, everyone needs a defense attorney.
Well, and I will ask you guys this. So I'm sure you've heard the story where this man was accused of dismembering or killing puppies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a hard time finding a lawyer. Did
Really?
you finally
Attorney?
find one? Huh?
Are you?
No. Oh, God.
Emily's a dog
That's a
lover.
really,
had to
that's a
sit-
really good question.
my
Nobody
dog and
wanted
I
to
had to sit
represent.
down.
So would you represent him?
No.
I'm like you. I couldn't, no.
There's certain things that
Right.
and I know people are like, oh, you'll represent people accused of sexual assault. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Like, human beings can speak and
Right.
they can also lie.
Yeah.
These are
Dogs?
defenseless
Yes.
puppies. You
Truly.
can't
Right.
take it.
Well,
Right.
we domesticated them.
Right.
So it's like, as a society, we have to
Right.
feed them and take care of them,
Right.
and
And the thing is, they're so damn loyal.
they are.
You can do whatever you want
Yeah.
to them, which is what makes it more sad.
Yes.
Is that you've seen people just abuse animals and they'll just come running up to you,
Yeah.
like they'll just love you forever.
That's
And
that's
that's
how
what
they
makes
are.
it-
I'm
more
gonna
sad.
find out, 'cause it's a good question.
Well, I know he finally found a lawyer
Really?
because it was all over social media
Yeah.
that he was having a problem finding a lawyer. And so someone wrote, I don't remember who, they said he has retained counsel. I don't remember his name, but don't get me wrong, he's presumed innocent. I'm not
Sure,
saying.
but that's just one of those allegations that
Right.
it's hard to get.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm just saying that even us hardened, criminal defense attorneys who've seen it all, there's some lines that we draw.
Sure.
And I'm not judging whoever has the case. More power to them. It just would be something very difficult for me to deal with.
Well, could you really put your heart into it?
100%.
Right,
I don't think I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
So
my
your
puppy.
facial expressions are worse than mine right now. So you should see.
That's a
the facial
strong
expressions.
statement.
That is.
Now, I'm gonna very quickly tell you my Johnny Holmes story.
Okay.
So you remember Angel Resendez Ramirez?
Yes, I was just watching.
I know, there's
Yes.
anything in the railway
Yeah.
killer. So when Resendez was taken into custody here,
Yeah.
I knew murderabilia dealers were
Yeah.
going to be reaching out. And I asked jail officials to be on the lookout for, and sure enough, they actually did get correspondence.
Right.
And I actually purchased something that was being sold, of his, and that was his hair. So yeah, I know, it's bizarre. But
That's
anyway, I get
bizarre.
a call when I was at the mayor's office, and I get a come to DA's office. Andy Conley goes, hold on a second. And get on the phone. Is this Andy Conley? Goes, yeah, this is John Holmes. And I'm like, John Holmes? He goes, yeah, he goes, I understand that you've got the railway killer's hair.
Oh my goodness.
And just like that, and I went, yeah, and he goes, good. And then he pauses and he goes, I'm gonna subpoena you.
Oh no.
Then he stops and he goes, and bring the damn hair.
Oh my goodness.
I was actually subpoenaed to testify because he had pled not guilty by reason of insanity.
Right.
Yeah.
I was brought in to show that he had the mindset to be marketing himself.
Right.
That's a good
as
point,
a
yeah.
railway killer.
Yeah.
Right,
So
yeah, how
there I
insane
was
can
going
you
to
be
court
if
for
you
this
do
little
that?
bag of hair. And
Well,
I
that's-
remember Alan Turner was the defense attorney.
Yeah.
Alan's a great guy. He's like, goes, what are you doing here? And so then they go to call him and he just said, we stipulate.
Well,
We just stipulate to whatever.
there's so many jokes I can make here. Number one, need his hair?
Actually,
We're
I
trying to
have a
make a
very
toupee of some
Yes.
sort.
I remember when I was interviewing Holmes one time, and we got done with the interview. He said, "I want you to do me a favor." I said, "Okay." There was a guy in his office. This is when business cards were big,
Yeah.
and he was kind of in charge of making business cards. Something was misspelled,
Right.
and Holmes pointed the guy out and said, "Go over there and confront him about it. What you're doing a story."
Oh my gosh, stop it.
And I go up to the guy, "What about that?"
Oh my
And he's like
gosh.
sweating. And Johnny was just laughing. He thought that was the funniest thing.
So we got, tonight, we're doing a segment on a guy that's charged with capital murder.
He's been in the murder. He's been in the news for a few days now.
Yes, he has.
Watson.
Hmm?
What's his name?
Hudson.
Hudson. I was
Hudson.
close. Hudson.
You were
Hudson.
the explorer.
Right.
Yeah.
He's accused of killing an Uber driver back in May, and we have found some disturbing things about him.
Yeah, one of the things, and I find out that, and again, this is no big deal. He's out on bond. Okay, he's on a PR bond, but he was also
For
on.
capital murder?
No.
Oh, okay,
He was
good.
on, but here's what threw me some red flags, because he was also on juvenile probation at the same time.
Okay.
And a very violent offense.
Which, okay, theoretically, couldn't his probation have been revoked?
On the new law violation, yes.
Yeah, right. He picks up a new criminal charge.
Right. Did they not file a motion to revoke his probation on June?
Don't know, it's juvenile.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, he's obviously,
You want to find out?
no, look, he's obviously aged into the
Adult system,
Right,
right.
yeah.
So he should be supervised by an adult district court.
But he also picked up another offense while on juvenile probation, evading arrest,
As a
which he
juvenile?
had, no, this is an adult.
As an adult.
As
Okay,
an adult,
well
so
then-
he's still on probation.
Right, so let me give you an example.
Okay.
I have a client who's on capital murder probation out of a juvenile court. Because he aged out of juvenile court, he's now transferred to the 185th and being supervised on his capital murder probation by that court.
Is that usually how it works once you age out?
Right, because
Yeah.
he's not certified as an adult, which I'm assuming he wasn't.
Right.
So now, anything he does, they should file a motion to revoke probation in that home court that supervised him as an adult.
Okay.
And if that theoretically could have happened or should
Right.
have happened,
Right.
then I can certainly argue that this person's death is preventable.
Right, nothing's private now. Once he's reached the
Right,
age,
there it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing's private now. His probation had to have been transferred to an adult district
Right.
court. And he has to be now supervised by an adult district court.
There's
And
a,
so if he picks up a new law violation, then someone should have filed a motion to revoke probation.
right.
And his bond would have been, he wouldn't have a bond. So
Right.
there's a lot going on here. I
Yeah,
didn't
there's a
interrupt
lot,
you,
there's a
Kenny.
lot
Go
of
ahead.
questions
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
that
go
this
ahead.
kind of red flag.
Yes.
Right, so
Right,
what else,
and
what are the
that's
red
why-
flags you were talking about?
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about,
Right,
you know.
but there was more than that, I interrupted.
But he gets on a PR bond
Yep.
while on juvenile, right.
Oh, okay.
Which doesn't make much sense.
I mean, what court was it? We can look all that up.
It's my former batting average in baseball that begins with a 3.
351st.
Boom, you got it. First try.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Well, there's only a couple.
Here, you earned that.
Thank you.
See?
I
Then
can't
you got a
wait to get
prize.
on with my coffee.
There's some other disturbing things in the court documents about this particular defendant, and we'll tell you all about it on tonight's Breaking Bond. The news will be on later than usual tonight because Fox has the All-Star game.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You need to
so
tell them that we're, tell them that we're doing the story. So it's on Fox, okay, you're a baseball person.
Yes, I'm excited
All
about it.
right, so the All-Star game, they still have that time limit.
Right.
So
Right.
it should go a lot quicker.
right, yeah,
Um,
probably 10. The pre-show was at 6, and the game started at 7.
Do you think they'll promote this segment on the All-Star game?
I don't think so,
Who
but I'll see.
I'm super excited. When I went to the All-Star game with my kids.
Did you really?
In 2021, and the Astros boycotted. And, so they actually booed Orbit
Yeah,
when Orbit came out.
that happened this time too.
Really?
Yeah, in the editorial meeting, did they,
Yeah.
remember they were talking about, when they,
Yeah.
Chandler?
Yeah.
Yeah, they booed him.
Orbit.
How do you boo Orbit?
Santa
That's
Claus.
like booing, that's like booing Crime Stopper.
Right, well,
Come on.
you're stretching it.
That's true.
Or like booing a kitten or something. It's just, it's weird. But that will be on tonight's Breaking Bond, Fox News at 9, which will probably be more like 10. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Be kind to yourself and everyone else.
Wear mistrial.
No Astros, yes, mistrial.
Bye.